Alright, so yeah, we've got Shmitty, Daniel, and moi. So, we'll figure out this game. I guess this is all new for us. So, we'll try to have some fun with it. Go with what we've got. Unfortunately, this means we're not going to be able to do very much, live streaming this time. But we'll definitely be doing some more live streaming next time. Maybe do a live stream during like a podcast type scenario. Alright, so what do we have here?
These are my dice. But today we only need these ones. The D6s. CRAM is played entirely with them, and all the other polyhedral dice we will use in future role plays.
Okay.
But not on this gaming platform.
Ooh, I call this guy.
General rule of thumb with CRAM is the more D6s you have, the better.
Okay.
So, you guys have paper and pencil?
I don't.
I can get some.
Would you grab that for me, please, David?
Yeah. Alright, so let's get into my room. It's thrashed, by the way, right now, but it works. Going to find some pencil and papers. There you are. How many pencils? Two? Alright. I'll bring, like, 3. Yeah, and back into here.
Awesome. So, I'm going to set the scene for you guys, and then we'll build your characters. So, here's a sheet of paper for each of you. So we're going to start off with humanity in the distant future, as it has evolved into a Tier 3 society that controls the galaxy and has mastered interstellar space travel. It is the master of the galaxy, with far more advanced sciences and technology than ever before. You two are the captain and first mate of the first ever intergalactic voyage to the Andromeda Galaxy. There's your setting, and we're gonna move on from that to your character creation. In order to make characters, and we can just fold that away so you guys can write, I want you to write down above each other 4 stats. Your stats are man, I hate this phone.
Man, homework now?
Yeah, homework. So, your stats are physical, mental, luck, and vitality. So between these 4 stats, you have 20 stat points that you can apportion as you choose, with no less than 1 point in each stat and no more than 15.
Come again? Say all that one with him.
Between your 4 stats, you may divide 20 points as you choose, with no less than 1 point and no more than 15. And I should explain what each of them do. It's pretty simple, but physical is going to be your strength, your agility, your endurance. Mental is going to be your wit, your intelligence, your wisdom. luck is your luck. It's how likely you are to just stumble upon something, do something right the first time while guessing in the dark. And your vitality is, it's like your health. You're going, it's like your HP. And so, from that, you guys are going to choose some skills. Skills represent training and in-depth knowledge that a character has. They don't include any inherent equipment. Okay, rotate.
Is your camera recording?
Oops.
So you have to keep the screen on?
No, I never started it. Oops.
Oh, we're back.
Yep. Anyway, your
face is kind of blocking it.
Whatever. The skills that you get to choose from, and you get to choose two, are athletics, which is going to be your feats of brute strength, and agility, endurance, acrobatics. Lore is history, folklore, languages, religion, philosophy, and the occult. Martial is all forms of armed and trained combat. Medicine would be healthcare, pharmacology, and surgery. Psionics, we're not going to play with. You guys are not psychic.
Dang it! I like being psychic.
Rhetoric is persuasion, negotiation, and diplomacy. Science, math, physics, chemistry, biology, etc. Subterfuge is disguise, sneaking about, things like that. Cloak and dagger. Survival is how likely you are to perform in the wild, find food, water, shelter, track an animal, get your way out of a pinch in nature. And vocation, which is the skills that you would develop in a career. So, for example, since we are a futuristic society, your vocations would be kind of odd, since you are officers in a military that rules the galaxy and you don't have any particular, trade skills per se, but you would also be, you could have, leadership, science, but those things would also be kind of encompassed within other abilities. So we'll say that we're not going to play with vocation as one of our available skills. Starting off with David, you have a pretty high physical stat, so...
and luck stats.
Yeah,
way I
physical
roll.
and luck. Well, I mean, luck, it doesn't really have any, particular skills that go with it. I mean, gambling, I suppose.
What makes you think I'm not going to be gambling?
You've mastered the galaxy, damn it. You don't need to stop for poker.
I like poker.
What makes you think I'm going to stop for poker? If I'm just stopping for the Kino games.
Oh my god. Okay, so, I would recommend athletics, martial, rhetoric, science, subterfuge for you.
Sorry, one more time?
So I would recommend that you choose two from among athletics, martial, rhetoric, science, or subterfuge.
Definitely going to do athletics.
and to pair with that, martial. So you'll be a really combat-oriented character.
I'm basically your straight-up tank.
Yeah. And for you, Schmidt, you are particularly balanced, so you have a lot more option as far as... God damn, I hate the fucking phone screen. Sorry. So you could choose a bit more. What kind of character do you want to be?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Well, we
probably
already...
Probably the dude that, like, is good with talking and persuasion.
Okay. Well, then how about rhetoric and subterfuge?
How do you spell that other one?
SUBTERFUGE. Okay, so starting off, you guys have basically finished off your characters. It's remarkably simple. Again, the way that you do things in this game is via d6s. So the stats that you've chose represent how many d6s you get to roll on any given ability check or performance check that you wish to make. Say, David, you have a physical score of 8, and that means that if you wished to perform a physical performance check, you would get to roll 8 d6s. And in this case, you would succeed because you rolled a 6. The higher your roll, if you get a 6, you succeed. If you don't get any 6s and you get 1s, then you fail. And depending on the number of 6s and 1s that you get, you succeed or fail more drastically. So success takes precedence over failure. So it doesn't matter if you get 1 6 and 7 1s. You'll still succeed because you got a 6. So combat happens basically the same way. When you want to make an attack, you are going to be rolling physical.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are in your starship at the edge of the galaxy, doing your final checkups before entering into hypersleep and preparing to take off for the next galaxy over. Your superior commanding officers, make their rounds, make sure that you are all briefed on your mission, which is to find plasma crystals in the next galaxy. Plasma crystals are what you use to fuel your interstellar and intergalactic travel. It's thought that they are very plentiful in the Andromeda Galaxy. The supply in the Milky Way Galaxy is running low, and so you are, in a sense, humanity's last hope for continuing on as a Tier 3 society that rules galaxies. So, do you guys have anything that you want to do before you enter your hypersleep? No?
Go to the gym.
You go. Okay, yeah, you've already made sure that you are worked out and physically prepared to embark on your voyage. It's been months in training. You enter your hypersleep, and moments later, although in truth it's been decades later, you wake up and emerge from your hyperstasis pods, ready to begin your mission. You've arrived in the Andromeda Galaxy. Right off the bat, the captain detects a star system with 4 large planetary masses, one of which emits a strange radiological signal. What do you do?
First thing I would do is probably just, being a very tankish type person, I would probably try to launch like a probe or some sort of item to identify it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fortunately, you are in a massive intergalactic vessel that has about as many scientific probes as you wish. I'm gonna have you roll luck, David.
Luck.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 6.
Well, I got a 6.
Table, yep, okay, so, you can't entirely discern the origin of the radiological signal coming from the first planet closest, the star of this system. However, you do notice that the other 3 planets in the system have traces of plasma crystal dust, which is a very promising sign of deposits that can be mined by later expeditions. Any reactions to that?
I'm excited.
You're excited?
I'm ready to check this out.
Okay. The probe has also discovered that the 4th planet from the star of the system is an icy giant. It's super far away from the star, and traveling there would be incredibly difficult without any form of protection, any personal protection, in order to get to the surface. You're equipped with it, but you should probably make sure that you've gotten as many observations as you can to make sure that this planet is safe to approach.
Well, in that case, I probably have to recommend before we even go into the planet, probably a scout team or something like that. Someone that is already prepared to deal with changes and stuff like that. Someone that might be a little bit more smarter than us, that actually knows what they're doing in case of, planetary side effects or whatever to the human body. They would be able to go in and calculate it all.
Okay, you assemble a team of 3 science officers, as well as yourselves, and you board a shuttlecraft that is equipped with all of your science equipment and personal protective equipment, and you depart for the 4th planet in the system. Upon your arrival, you see that the atmosphere of this planet is terrifically thin, so there's no breathing. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to breathe anyway because you would freeze. And there are immense mountain ranges all over the planet. It's a particularly large planet, so the force of gravity is about 1.5 times what it would be on Earth. And so you find your bodies somewhat physically constrained as you make your landing.
In that case, I would say suit up, and let's...
Just be careful.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, you put on your spacesuits, you grab your scientific equipment, and you head out onto the surface of the planet. You notice that the surface has a fine covering of plasma crystal dust, as you had previously suspected.
Plasma
And-
crystal dust, though, does this mean that it is possible that the plasma crystals that we are looking for could have actually just, demolished, I guess I could say? Like there's nothing left but dust.
Roll mental for me.
Mental?
Yep.
Why don't he roll mental? You've got more higher.
Nope.
Damn it.
You asked the question.
6.
Okay.
6 and a 5.
Please keep my dice on the table.
Yeah, trying to. And a 6.
Okay, so yeah, you are aware of the nature of plasma crystals, and they do tend to evaporate over time and leave this powdery residue all over. However, with just a thin covering, they can remain intact for a very long time.
Okay. So, what do you want to do?
Do we have the right tools to extract the crystals?
Well, you don't know where any are yet. You just think that there might be some.
Alright. How do we test it? How do we test, like, what's underneath the surface?
Well, you have a whole variety of scientific equipment on your person, and that does include an auger, and it is equipped with subterranean radar that can detect mineral deposits underneath the surface.
So we can start using that.
Okay. So go ahead and roll mental for me. Okay, yeah, you have it deployed flawlessly, and I'm also going to have you roll luck. That was
Here,
one.
just roll it again.
4.
Okay, your device picks up some strange tremors underneath the surface of the planet.
Is it possible that those crystals are actually possibly even growing? Like, I know when there's a tremor, usually ground breaks. So, would there possibly be any chance of that, like cracks or whatever, opening up to where we could actually find deposits of this crystal?
Yeah, that could be.
Or there could be some creature living down there.
Good thing I got the strength. At this time, you want to go scout out like a mountain range?
Yeah, we can do that.
Alright.
Okay. You collect up all of your scientific equipment that you had deployed and head off. The nearest mountain range, fortunately, is only about a mile away, so even with the more intense gravity of the planet, you have an easy time getting there. And you begin hiking up the mountains, and you roll luck for me, both of you.
Look, well, your luck would be a good factor.
Okay. Mm.
6.
Okay.
3s,
Yeah.
2s, and 1s.
So you find, as you walk up these mountains, that some of the rocks on the side of what you are using as a path is incredibly thin, and as you reach over to lean on it, your hand breaks through, and you feel an icy gust hit your hand.
I see ghost. Start going through. Just plow through it.
You're breaking through the rock?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll physical for me. I mean,
1, 2.
actually, no, you don't need to roll physical. You've got, but go ahead and make another luck check.
Luck check?
Sure. Well, nah, just David. You're the one who's breaking it, right?
Both of us. Yeah. Damn it! What the fuck? I always
It's back behind you.
Oh. Alright. Hey Daniel, hold the camera for a little bit.
Okay.
And don't touch the screen. There you go. So, it's live right now, by the way.
Okay, so, you break through, and you see, a tremendous cavern, going into the mountainside. The sides of the cavern are covered in mildly luminous, smooth stones. They don't look like plasma crystals, but, they provide an eerie lighting for you as you peer into the depths.
Alright.
We can take a sample back to the ship.
Yeah, alright.
Try to figure out what it is.
Okay, yeah, you take a sample and beam it back up to the ship, and they begin their analysis.
Other than that, I say let's just keep them walking through, figure out what else they can find. All before the analysis comes back.
It probably won't take too long with the technology we have, though. But we can always just keep going down.
So you guys are gonna keep going down?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as you travel deep into the tunnel, you roll mental for me.
Me?
Both of you.
Mental, alright.
Okay. Okay. You hear a faint rumbling. You hear nothing.
So I kind of just pause and look in the direction where the rumbling came from. What do you think? Should we go see what it is?
What rumbling?
I'm pretty sure I heard some rumbling, bud.
Okay. Yeah. Alright.
Alright. Yeah.
Just want to just go check it out.
Yeah, alright.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, so, the rumbling came from deeper within the tunnel. As you descend, the lighting, the stones on the wall that provide lighting change color from a blue to more of an orange, and the rumbling grows more frequent, and you can both hear it now as it grows in intensity. Eventually, after a good bit of walking through the cavern, you come to a large open chamber, and inside of this chamber is a large spherical glowing floating orb.
Pause for 1 second. And now you guys are going to have to go watch the actual footage. So I hope to see you guys later on. This has just been a bio. Peace.